Hey there, Mike Dunn, Editor-in-Chief of Tabletop, and I've got something very special to tell you about. It's a new crowdfunding campaign from Gooey Cube. It's called The Tomb of Gyzengax. It's a tribute to Gary Gygax and many of the legends that created the wonderful game that we all love to play. The link is right down here. Go hit it up, back it. You can't go.
As an industry, we have a cable problem. This cable, this cable, this cable, and this cable have something in common, and it's not that they're USB. It's the same problem with this standard power cable, this P-tap, and even this HDMI cable. What's the problem? There's no labeling on any of them. Is this USB 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 3.1, 3.2? Before you get excited and say, oh, but what about the color inside? It's blue, so therefore it's USB 3.2, right? Then why is this one white? Why are some of them black? Why is the other end of this one red? And what about this problem? It's USB-C to USB-C, no coloring whatsoever. So I can't solve the problem for the rest of the industry, but as more devices like this laptop move to being able to be charged via USB-C, I need to know how much power I'm pulling. I reached out to Sabrent to check out this product here. It's a USB-C to USB-C cable with an integrated smart display. Funny enough, it's not labeled either, but at least with the smart display I can see just how much power I'm drawing. I'm Ron Burke, Editor-in-Chief for Gamingtrend. While I can't solve the problem for the rest of the industry, let's unbox this and see if I can solve at least one problem today. Now, one of the things that I appreciate about my FlexiSpot desk is that it has a USB-A port right on the side of the controls. So to use this, I obviously need to use this adapter. So we're going to plug this adapter into the Sabrent cable, and we're going to find out how much power it really provides. So right now we're showing 0. That's a good control. We plug it in and we see 2 watts, 5 watts. Not blowing me away, certainly not fast. So obviously this gives me a lot of insight into just how much power I'm really pulling out of this desk. Not the best result. So let's unplug from here and see if we can get a little more juice running from my laptop to my Steamdeck. All right, removing the adapter, we're gonna plug back into my PC and directly to the Steamdeck. I've got my Steamdeck powered off completely. You see it start at 0, then 1, and then it jumps to 3, and now 14. I've got the device powered off completely. We're gonna power it on and see if it makes any difference during startup. We'll see if that jumps away from 13 or not, or if that's pretty consistent. Now, I don't think it makes any difference to the overall power capacity, but this is the original Steamdeck. It's not the OLED version. I love my Steamdeck, seriously. All right, so it didn't jump at all. It sat at 13 pretty consistently, and I suspect when we actually bring up the statistics, it will say the same thing. I'm trying to remember where the power is. There we go. 45 hours. I doubt if that's actually what it is to charge it. It should settle down to around an hour at 13 watts. If you give it a few seconds here. Not sure if that's going to make any difference on my overall information here. All right, so it's kind of jumping around, but it's landing down at around an hour and a half. So I'm going to say that that's probably about what it'll take. Now, what I'm curious about is when I hook it back up to that wall plug, is that going to make any difference? So let's test that next. So we're plugged into that power brick. Plug this in here. That is a 45 watt power brick. So it should supply every bit of juice that we want. And we're seeing that reflected here. That jumped up to 34, now down to around 30. So we're seeing a significant jump in power, and that's definitely changing based off of where I'm plugging this in and whether I'm using an adapter. This is the kind of data that I was interested to find out because more often than not, it's guesswork. It gives you vague information like charging quickly, and that doesn't tell me anything. Now I've got actual crunchy data to look at that tells me exactly how much power I'm pulling and whether I'm really getting everything that I should out of my wall plug and my cable. So I'd hardly call any of this scientific testing, but we did find some interesting results. I was shocked to see how much of a difference that this adapter made. This adapter pretty much killed power delivery, made it almost zero. Same thing with using it on our FlexiSpot desk. It's USB-A, so I had to use an adapter. And again, we saw that really low power delivery. Is that the adapter or is that the desk? Don't know. Same thing with this. This RAV power, while being clearly marked as 45 watts, we saw it pull about 30 watts. Now that could be this RAV power device, that could be the power strip that it was plugged into. I know it's not the cable. The reason I know it's not the cable is this cable is capable of pushing 100 watts of power delivery. So this can power a laptop plus my Steamdeck and still probably have power to spare. So in terms of power delivery, it's excellent. The other problem though is the same problem that we started with. It's got braiding, which I appreciate. It's got the strips on here to wrap it all up, which I appreciate. It's 2 meters long, whatever the hell a meter is in freedom units. But what's missing, once again, is labeling. This cable, despite 100 watts of power delivery, is USB 2.0, which means 480 megs of throughput. Maybe that's enough for you, maybe it's not. Personally, it would be nice to see this same power delivery with something higher speed. Maybe that's the next revision. Either way, I am happy to say that the price is 15 bucks. So for 100 watts of power delivery, I don't even want to tell you what this thing cost, but anything that powers higher than that 15 watt mark, they charge an absolute premium. So to see a cable that's charging only 15 bucks for 100 watts of throughput is insane. Sabrent has priced these to move, and I really sincerely appreciate that. As a result, this is going in my bag because I know that I can charge my laptop and my Steamdeck at full speed and have power to spare. So that makes it worthwhile to me. I'm just hoping that the next revision pushes the bandwidth higher as well. I'm Ron Burke, Editor-in-Chief for Gamingtrend.com. Thanks for joining me as I try to solve the world's problems in cabling. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you again very soon.